This video is a response to YouTube user Comradshaw. Comradshaw is a Stalinist communist who likes to pretend that he is an anarchist. Jesus H. Christ on a popsicle stick. When will these commies ever learn? Comradshaw posted a video entitled, "Anarchy would most likely prevent BP oil disaster." I would agree with this title if he were actually talking about anarchy. The system Comradshaw describes in his video is communism, not anarchy. If he were talking about anarchy, then he would have talked about anarcho-capitalism. But what do you expect from a guy who says that he specifically identifies with anarcho-communist principles, which extends the traditional communist mantra to each according to her abilities and desires, to each her needs and passions, quoting Marx, at Chairman Comradshaw. This is so anti-capitalist I don't even know where to begin. Lost anarcho-communism. Seriously, dude, you have to be a little less obvious. Anyway, anarchy would have definitely prevented the BP oil disaster. Homesteading should be extended to the high seas. In a world with private, capitalist oceans, there would likely be no pollution at all. People tend to care more about property that they own, so capitalists, fearing a loss in profits, would do their best to make their property oil disaster-free. This is common sense, of course. We shouldn't expect common sense from a Stalinist like Comradshaw. Anarcho-capitalists have always advocated ocean privatization. In fact, the greatest anarchist thinker in history, Rothbard, was saying things like this about oceans and rivers all the way back in 1973 in his spectacular book For New Liberty. In this book, Rothbard explains, the rivers, and the oceans too, are generally owned by the government. Private property, certainly complete private property, has not been permitted in water. In essence, then, government owns the rivers. But government ownership is not true ownership, because the government officials, while able to control the resource, cannot themselves reap their capital value on the market. Government officials cannot sell the rivers or sell stock in them. Hence, they have no economic incentive to preserve the purity and value of the rivers. The Gulf Coast should be fenced off and turned into private property. That way, we can assure that there will never be a catastrophic oil spill ever again. Private property would have definitely prevented the BP oil disaster.